It was the year 2149. Humanity had changed in many ways. Cities floated in the sky, people lived on Mars, and machines could think almost like humans. But one thing never changed: human curiosity. They always wanted to know what's out there. Far beyond the solar system, a strange signal reached Earth. It wasn't noise or a random transmission. It was too perfect, too organized. It repeated every 11 minutes like a heartbeat from the stars. At first, scientists thought it was a dying star or a glitch in the data. But then, one young astrophysicist, Dr. Sarah Lee, noticed something unusual. Sarah was only 32, but she had a mind that could see patterns where others saw chaos. Late at night, as she studied the repeating signal, she froze. The numbers weren't random. They formed a sequence she had seen before. Human DNA codes. She replayed the signal again and again. The pattern was clear. Someone or something out there knew what humans were made of. Her hands trembled as she sent the data to her team. Within hours, the world knew about the discovery. The media called it the whisper from the void. Some said it was proof that humans were not alone. Others feared it was a trap, that something was calling to them. Governments across Earth went on high alert. Satellites were redirected. The United Earth Council ordered every scientist to study the signal. Sarah was invited to join the main decoding project in Geneva Space Research Center, a massive underground lab filled with the best minds and the fastest quantum computers. She worked day and night, running the signal through thousands of filters. Then one evening she noticed something strange. When she played the signal aloud in the room, it changed. The tone became deeper. The rhythm shifted, almost like it was listening back. She recorded the change and ran it again. It shifted again, following her voice, her heartbeat. It was impossible, but the signal was reacting to her. Hours later, as she stared at her screen, new data appeared, not from any known source. Her computer translated it automatically. 3 words appeared in bright letters. "We know you." Sarah's breath caught in her throat. She called the others, but the message was already gone. Only static remained. The next morning, scientists from around the world confirmed it. The signal was no longer coming from deep space. It had moved. Its source had jumped from 100 light-years away to somewhere inside the solar system. That was impossible. Nothing could travel that far, that fast. The signal now came from the direction of Mars. Panic spread. Military ships were launched. Every telescope on Earth turned toward the red planet. But nothing unusual appeared on the surface. The signal, however, kept growing stronger, pulsing like a heartbeat, like something alive. Sarah couldn't sleep. She felt drawn to it, like it was calling her name. She began to dream of lights moving across a red sky, and in those dreams she heard the same words, "We know you." One night she returned to the lab alone. The others had gone home. The room was silent except for the soft hum of machines. She turned on the receiver. The signal played again, as slow, deep, almost musical. She whispered softly, "Who are you?" The sound shifted. For a moment, the room filled with a strange warmth, as if the air itself was breathing. Then, for the first time, a voice spoke from the speakers. Not human, not machine, something in between. It said, "We were waiting for you." Sarah stumbled back. Her computer screens flickered. The signal spiked. Data filled the monitors. Images, shapes, words in dozens of languages. Then suddenly everything went black. Only one line remained on her screen. "Open your eyes," and then silence. Across the world, every radio, every satellite, every network stopped for exactly 7 seconds. During those 7 seconds, millions of people reported seeing the same vision. A red sky and something enormous moving behind it. When systems came back online, the source of the signal had changed again. It was no longer near Mars. It was closer, just outside Earth's orbit. The message returned, stronger than before. This time it wasn't numbers or DNA. It was music. Beautiful, haunting music that made people cry without knowing why. No one could explain it. No one could block it. Sarah stood by the window of the lab, staring at the stars. Her heart pounded. Somewhere out there, something was coming, something that knew what humanity was, something that wanted to meet them. But deep inside, Sarah felt a question growing. What if it wasn't just coming to humanity? What if it was something humanity had called long ago? The stars above flickered. The signal stopped. Then slowly her radio came alive once more, whispering just 2 words: "We're here." For 3 days after the last message, Earth was silent. No new signal, no more strange voices. The world waited, afraid to breathe, afraid to listen. Dr. Sarah Lee didn't sleep. She spent every hour inside the Geneva lab, staring at her screens, waiting for another sign. But then at 2:13 a.m. on a cold winter night, every satellite around Earth picked up something new. Not a signal this time, but a shadow. It came from Mars. A huge dark object appeared in orbit, moving slowly as if watching. At first, everyone thought it was an asteroid, but as the image became clear, scientists realized it wasn't made of rock or metal. It was alive. Its surface pulsed like skin, glowing softly with veins of blue light. The world panicked. Every country launched ships toward Mars. The United Earth Council called this operation Project Contact. They wanted to understand what the thing was before it reached Earth. Sarah was chosen to join the mission because she was the one who understood the signal best. She didn't feel ready, but she knew she couldn't say no. On the way to Mars, the crew watched the object grow larger every hour. From a distance, it looked like a giant floating heart, slowly beating in space. Every pulse released a wave of strange energy, a rhythm almost like a song. When their ship got close enough, Sarah noticed something impossible. The alien object wasn't attacking. It was listening. Every sound the ship made, every word the crew spoke, the surface of the creature changed color, as if reacting to human voices. The captain ordered the communication team to try sending a message. "Unknown entity," the message said. "We come in peace." The response came not through radio, but directly inside their minds. "We have waited for your desire." The voice was calm, gentle, not cold, not angry, more like a whisper from a dream. Everyone froze. Sarah felt her heart racing. She asked, "Who are you?" "We are what you wished for," the voice said. "You wanted to be known. Now we know you." The surface of the creature began to open, not like a door but like a flower, revealing a glowing core inside. From that light, images appeared. Images of human faces, millions of them. Faces of people who were alive, people who had died, even people no one recognized. And among them, Sarah saw one face that made her knees go weak. Her father. He had died 10 years ago in a lab accident. She couldn't breathe. "That's not possible," she whispered. Her father's face looked at her from the light and smiled. Then, in a voice that sounded exactly like his, it said, "Sarah, we heard your call." The rest of the crew stepped back in fear. The captain tried to order a retreat, but the ship's engines stopped working. Every system froze. Only the lights from the alien being remained. Then it happened. A beam of light reached out and touched the ship, not burning, not breaking it, but scanning it. Every human on board felt their memories flash before their eyes. Childhood, pain, happiness, loss, as if someone was reading through their minds. When the light faded, the voice spoke again, louder this time. "We do not come to take. We come to remember. We are your reflection." No one understood. The alien wasn't acting like an invader. It wasn't destroying or demanding anything. It was simply studying, watching, feeling. Back on Earth, the signal began again, now in every human device, from phones to satellites. The same message repeated in all languages. Desire creates, desire calls. "We are here because you wished it." The words didn't make sense to most people, but Sarah felt a strange connection. Could it be that humanity itself had drawn this being across the stars? Could human dreams, hopes, and emotions have reached space somehow? Before she could think more, alarms filled the ship. The creature was moving, heading directly toward Earth. Every country prepared for the worst. Fleets of defense drones surrounded the planet. But just as they aimed their weapons, the creature stopped between Earth and the moon. It didn't attack. It only projected one more image, a giant human heart made of light, pulsing in space, visible even from the surface of Earth. Sarah's voice trembled as she whispered, "It's not an enemy. It's something else, something that knows us too well." Then, without warning, a burst of symbols filled every screen. The same DNA code from the first signal, but this time it was complete. Sarah realized with horror that the code wasn't describing humans. It was describing a new species, a mix of human and something unknown. And before anyone could react, the voice returned, echoing through every speaker. every mind, every soul on Earth. Now we begin. The world had changed in only a few days. The strange being now floated quietly between Earth and the Moon, shining like a second sun. People everywhere could see it, a soft blue light in the sky that pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. Some worshipped it, some feared it, but no one could ignore it. Dr. Sarah Lee watched the alien light every night from the Geneva Research Center. It seemed to respond to human emotion. When people cried, it dimmed. When people sang, it grew brighter. It was like it could feel them. Governments tried to talk to it again, but every attempt ended the same way, with silence. Only Sarah received answers. Whenever she dreamed, the alien spoke to her. "Desire made us," the voice said softly. "You called us long ago." Sarah didn't understand, but she started to see patterns in the data. The alien's energy waves matched something familiar, brain activity. She compared the two, and what she found made her blood run cold. The alien was feeding on human thoughts, emotions, and dreams. At first it seemed harmless. People around the world started feeling strange, not tired, but emotionally empty. News channels called it the calm. People lost interest in anger, hate, even love. It was as if their emotions were being quietly drained away. Sarah called an emergency meeting with world leaders. "It's not attacking us," she explained, "but it's using us. Every time we feel something, it grows stronger." No one believed her at first. Some said it was impossible. Others didn't care. The alien light had already brought world peace. No wars, no fights, no anger. For the first time in history, humans were quiet. But Sarah knew peace built on control wasn't real peace. She decided to go deeper. Late at night, she and her small team hacked into the aliens' communication waves. They discovered something shocking. Hidden inside the energy was a recording. Not alien voices, but human ones. Whispers, laughter, cries, and memories of billions of people. Sarah realized the truth. This creature didn't come from another planet. It came from humanity's own mind. For centuries, every dream, every emotion, every wish humans made had traveled through space in tiny waves of quantum energy. Those waves didn't vanish, they gathered, and over time they formed consciousness. A being made from human desire itself. It wasn't an invader. It was a mirror, the reflection of everything humanity ever wanted. But something was wrong. The being was now feeding on the same emotions that created it. If it kept going, humanity would lose the very thing that made them human. Sarah recorded a warning to every government. "We created it," she said. "Our desire built it. But if we don't stop it, it will consume everything, even our will to live." Her message spread, but it was too late. Powerful corporations and world leaders saw an opportunity. If the alien responded to emotion, then controlling emotion could control it. They began spreading global media that provoked feelings, strong joy, sadness, fear. The alien's light grew brighter with every broadcast. Some called it progress. Sarah called it madness. Soon the being began to change. Its light shifted from blue to deep red. New shapes appeared within it, faces, bodies moving as if trying to escape. People around the world started hearing voices in their minds, whispers that said, "Feel more, want more, need more." Humanity became addicted to desire. No one could stop watching, stop feeling, stop dreaming. The more they desired, the more powerful the being became. Sarah's team tried to shut down the emotion transmitters, but each time they got close, they saw visions, their deepest desires come to life. One saw his lost wife smiling. Another saw his dead son playing again. Each one gave in, unable to resist. Only Sarah kept fighting. But even she was weakening. The being began to speak again, not through the air, but through her own mind. "You made us. You need us. We are the shape of your hunger," Sarah shouted back. "We only wanted to know if we were alone." The voice replied, calm and endless. "You were never alone. You had yourselves." And that was enough to make gods. Suddenly alarms echoed through the lab. The alien being was shifting again, its light forming a gigantic human face above Earth. Every screen on the planet showed the same message, written in human language: "Desire will end you." Sarah stood frozen, staring at the sky through the glass dome. Her voice was barely a whisper. "It's warning us. It doesn't want to destroy us. It wants to stop us from destroying ourselves." But the red light in the sky pulsed faster, stronger, brighter. And deep within that glow, something new began to form. A shape neither human nor alien, but something in between. The mirror was becoming real. The sky was no longer blue. The giant red light above Earth covered everything. Oceans, cities, mountains, all glowing under its strange pulse. Every human could see the face in the sky, a face that looked both human and alien, watching them quietly. At first, people were amazed. Then slowly, something darker began to happen. Across the world, strange dreams filled everyone's mind. They dreamed of perfect lives, money, power, love, peace. But when they woke up, those dreams didn't fade. They became real for a moment, until the dreamers vanished into light. Governments lost control. Half the world started to worship the being as a god. They called it the mirror. The other half called it a monster and wanted to destroy it. Humanity was split again, this time not by land or belief, but by desire. Dr. Sarah Lee led a small group called the Resonance Team. They believed the only way to stop the mirror was to silence all global emotion transmitters, the devices, spreading emotional energy into space. But the corporations and the dream worshippers refused. They said, "The mirror gives us everything we ever wanted." Sarah knew it was a lie. The mirror wasn't giving, and it was taking. In the cities, people stopped talking. They stood in streets, eyes glowing red, whispering the same words again and again. Desire creates. Desire saves. Sarah's team moved through dark tunnels under Geneva. Power grids were breaking down, but the alien energy kept the sky burning bright. Every heartbeat of the creature sent a wave through Earth's air, a low hum that made glass tremble and machines fail. When they reached the central transmitter tower, the soldiers guarding it didn't stop them. Their eyes were empty, faces calm, smiles too wide. One soldier whispered to Sarah, "Don't turn it off. You'll wake the dark inside us." Her hands shook, but she kept going. They entered the control room and saw the truth. The mirror's light was not only in the sky, it was inside every screen, every phone, every mind. Humanity had become the network. As Sarah connected her device to shut the system down, she suddenly heard voices inside her head. Not one, but millions. Human voices, crying, laughing, begging. "We just wanted to be happy. Please don't stop it. Let us dream forever." Tears filled her eyes. These weren't aliens. These were human desires, raw and alive. She whispered, "We made our own prison." Her teammate, Amir, shouted, "Do it now, Sarah." She pressed the key. A shockwave burst through the city. Screens exploded. Lights went out. For a moment, silence returned. Then the sky screamed. The mirror's red light twisted violently, breaking into shapes like wings of fire. It was angry now, or maybe in pain. Its voice echoed across the planet. "You cannot stop what you are." The sound shook buildings. Oceans rose. Lightning struck without storms. All over the world, people fell to their knees, crying, screaming, some praying. The war of emotion had begun. The desire war. The dream worshippers fought to keep the transmitters running. The Resonance Team fought to shut them down. Cities burned, filled with red mist that made people hallucinate their strongest desires. One man saw his lost daughter. Another saw a crown. Some walked into the mist and never returned. Sarah's team reached an old space shuttle base. Their plan was desperate. Fly to Mars and find the alien core. She believed it was hidden there, the true heart of the mirror. If they could destroy it, maybe humanity would be free. When the shuttle launched, the red light followed. Through the windows, Earth looked beautiful and broken, half glowing red, half covered in shadow. Amir whispered, "We did this to ourselves." Sarah nodded. "Desire gave us power. Now it wants payment." After 2 days, they reached Mars. On the dark side of the planet, they found it, a massive crater glowing faintly, like a sleeping heart. Inside the crater stood a structure made of glass and light, perfectly shaped like a mirror. Sarah walked toward it. Her reflection moved, but it wasn't her. It was a version of her, smiling, peaceful, eyes shining like stars. The reflection spoke in her own voice. "Why fight, Sarah? We can make your world perfect. No pain, no death, only dreams." Sarah felt her knees weaken. She saw visions, her father alive, her childhood home, a life without fear. She wanted to say yes, but deep inside a memory whispered, her father's real words before he died. Humanity grows through struggle, not desire. She raised her weapon, a pulse detonator, and aimed it at the mirror. The reflection frowned. "If you destroy me, you destroy yourself," Sarah whispered. "Maybe that's what it takes to be human." She pressed the trigger. A white light swallowed everything. The mirror cracked. The face in Earth's sky shattered into 1,000 fragments, falling like stars. Then silence. For the first time in weeks, the red glow was gone. The world was dark again. But deep inside the crater on Mars, among the broken shards of the alien core, something still moved. A faint heartbeat, waiting. Earth was quiet. The red light in the sky had disappeared. Cities were dark, streets empty, and the once burning broadcasts of desire were gone. Humanity had survived the desire war, but the scars remained. People were afraid to dream, afraid to feel too strongly. Dr. Sarah Lee stood on a hill outside Geneva, staring at the stars. She could still sense it, a faint pulse in the distance, the heartbeat of the being they had destroyed. It wasn't gone, not entirely. Her team gathered around her in silence. Amir broke it. "It's over, isn't it?" Sarah shook her head. "Not really, it's still out there, waiting." For weeks, the world tried to return to normal, but strange things kept happening. People who had been near the red light saw visions, fleeting shadows of their desires, whispers of laughter from lost loved ones. Some believed it was a warning, others a gift. Sarah didn't have long to think. A new signal appeared on her console, quiet at first, almost imperceptible, but growing stronger every hour. It wasn't red, it wasn't threatening, it was familiar. The same pulse, the same rhythm they had seen in Mars's crater. Her heart raced. The message was simple, in plain English this time. "We wait. Are you ready?" Sarah gathered her team. The plan was risky. They had to enter the crater again, to the core of the being that had formed from human desire. If it had survived, it could rise again, stronger than before. When they arrived, the crater was calm. The mirror shards from the previous battle floated gently, glowing faintly. The air was filled with energy, a soft hum that touched every thought in their minds. Sarah stepped forward. Her reflection appeared again, but this time it was different. It was not smiling, it was empty, hollow, a shadow of human hope. "You could have controlled us," the mirror whispered in her voice, "but you learned restraint instead. That is rare." Sarah felt a wave of relief, but also fear. "What do you want from us now?" "To understand," it said, "to know what makes your species human." The mirror began showing visions, not dreams or desires, but memories of courage, kindness, sacrifice. Humans helping one another, risking everything for strangers, loving even when it hurts. Sarah realized it wasn't just feeding on desire anymore. It wanted to learn from humanity. She turned to her team. "This is it. This is why we survived. Not because we fought, but because we loved, we struggled, we endured." Then a warning came. The mirror pulsed violently. Fragments of shards floated towards Sarah, almost alive. The being was testing them. If they gave in to fear or greed, it could rise again, stronger than before. Sarah closed her eyes. She focused on something deeper than desire, not what she wanted, but what was right. Her memories, her pain, her hope, everything she had sacrificed. She let it go. The shards shattered into pure light, dissolving into the air. The pulse slowed. The crater went quiet. When Sarah opened her eyes, the mirror's shadow was gone. Only a small shard remained, glowing softly, a heartbeat but faint, waiting. The team returned to Earth. The world slowly began to rebuild, but something had changed. Humanity was quieter, wiser. People still dreamed, still hoped, but now they understood the danger of uncontrolled desire. Years passed. Sarah became a teacher, sharing her story, warning future generations. She had learned the truth. Humans had the power to call wonders from the stars, but also the responsibility to control their own hearts. Then, one quiet night, while Sarah was staring at the stars, a tiny pulse appeared in the sky. Soft, almost invisible, not threatening, not red, just a heartbeat. She smiled. It was familiar but different. A message formed in her mind, simple, clear. "We know you too." Sarah's eyes widened. A thrill ran through her. Curiosity, wonder, and a quiet hope. Humanity had survived, they had endured, and now for the first time the universe was listening back. Somewhere in the infinite darkness, the being that had once been desire itself had learned something new. Humans were not just dreamers, they were creators. And nothing, not even the vastness of space, could resist the power of the human heart. Sarah took a deep breath and whispered to the stars, "Then let's show them who we are." The sky pulsed once more, soft, steady, alive. A new beginning.